Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how I installed my Razor Rescue Kit on my YXZ, also known as a fire extinguisher. I'm just joking though, I have buddies with razors, I like to give them a hard time. I would absolutely love a Turbo S or a Pro XP, so don't take it the wrong way. I'm going to show you which components I bought, how I put them together, where I located it, and kind of the finished product, what it looks like. This is my existing fire extinguisher assembly. I really like the assembly, but I kind of don't like how it's mounted off to one side. I don't think it looks that great. So what I did is I bought another assembly, the exact same assembly, and I'm going to mirror it over to the passenger side. Use the same components, same extinguisher, everything. Just have one on each side to make it look a little more symmetric. I may end up having to move the fire extinguishers up a little bit so I can still see my ORV tags, but they're going to be all the same components. I think it's going to look a lot better. So let's start putting the passenger side fire extinguisher assembly together now. The first component is a Auto and Marine fire extinguisher. I got the 2-pound. I chose white over red. This cost about $20 with tax. Let's open it up. Okay, so it comes with a wall mount, which we're not going to use because we bought a automotive mount. So it's got a gauge, just a standard small fire extinguisher. The second component here is my fire extinguisher mount. This cost about $29. It's a quick release mount. The lower is stationary and the upper is removable. This lower half mounts on your side-by-side, truck, car, boat, whatever you're mounting on. The upper is what's going to mount to your fire extinguisher. So on the bottom it has a flat surface to mount to flat places, and then a rounded surface to mount to like tubing, things like that. It's got different mounting options you can use. It's got like a countersunk hole here for bolts. It's also got kind of a flat that you might be able to use. And then it's got these ears to hold on like pipe clamps. To remove the fire extinguisher, all you do is pull this plunger out and it's going to release the top, and then you pull off the bottom. See, it's got a slot like that. On the back it's got these spring-loaded detent balls here that fall into these little holes. So to put it back on, you slide it in the slot, open it up, let it snap in there. See if I can, like that. It doesn't have any wiggle to it. I mean, maybe once it wears in it would, but it's pretty nice. It comes with these hose clamps. These are going to be used to mount the fire extinguisher to the upper mount here. It's got some little knobs on the end so they don't slide off. It's got the channels so it drops right in there. You can also mount it to a cage using these pipe clamps, but I'm not going to do that because I think these are going to scratch my cage. So I actually bought some clamps that are going to be used to attach this mount to my side-by-side. So I'm going to show you those now. This is the third product. This is the clamps. This kit of 4 clamps costs $22. So they're pretty cheap. So I put 2 together just for an example. So the clamps have inserts in them that'll fit 1 inch, 1.5 inches, 3/4, and then some strips to add to fit up to 2-inch pipe. So that's a lot of adjustment. So you can see these inserts, they come in different thicknesses. There's a ton of them in there. It comes with, like I said, these pads so it doesn't scratch anything up. They're adhesive. I have the other clamps in here. Comes with your bolts, lock washers, even the Allen wrench to assemble them. But all we're going to need is 2 of the clamps So these clamps I'm going to use to mount to the bottom. On the existing fire extinguisher that's already mounted on my side-by-side on the driver's side, I accidentally blew off the label here with a power washer, so I'm going to take this label off so it matches. I already know how to use a fire extinguisher and I know what this one is used for, so I feel comfortable taking this label off, but it is probably against safety regulations, but gotta get that look. There we go. I think that's a lot cleaner look anyway, so it'll stay looking good for a longer period of time. So what I did to my other one, I don't really like this blue tip here. I was gonna paint it, but just to be quick, I used some electrical tape. And that's what I'm gonna do to this one as well, just for the time being. I'll probably paint them in the future, but I just hate that light blue clashing against my dark blue side by side. I don't mind seeing the tip of it there, but there. And just hide that blue a little bit. Kind of a bad tape job, not a big deal. Now I'm going to attach the fire extinguisher to the quick release mount. So it's going to be mounted on my side-by-side, something like that. I want it to kind of match what the other side looks like. So first I'm going to throw a hose clamp on, then throw the other one on too. I'm going to try to center the fire extinguisher so that straps it in its little slot there. There. There we go. Just gonna tighten them up a little bit. Make sure it's at the angle I want. There. Doesn't look too bad. Snug it down. There. Now it's mounted to the quick release. It's gonna pull out just fine. Perfect. Alright, now let's put this on our clamps. To attach this assembly to our clamps, I'm gonna remove the fire extinguisher, set it aside, grab one clamp. I just picked up these bolts from Tractor Supply Company. I'm not even sure what size they are. They just, whatever fits in these clamps. I did end up cutting them down a little bit so they don't poke through too much. So they've got this tapered head. It's kind of a cross between a button head and a flat head. I don't know. So I'm going to put that in there. I have a lock nut on the bottom. Just gonna roughly position this, so use an adjustable wrench for now. I'm eventually gonna take the nut off and put some Loctite on it. This is just to get kind of an idea if I like it or not. There. Still able to move. Snugged up a bit. Put the other side on. we go. Alright, now I'm going to mount this lower assembly with the clamps on it on the side-by-side first to get the position. I may install this a few times just to kind of figure out my spacing. Let's do that now. Okay, so I'm going to try to get an idea of about where I want to mount this at. So I'm looking, so it looks like to be the same as the other side. I'm going to have to rotate these around. Luckily I just snugged them up a little bit. Something like that. And then I'll put fire extinguisher in. Just kind of get an idea of where it's going to be, where I'm still going to... Okay, so I'm just going to mount it a bit below my light here so I can get to this top bolt, but I can also see my ORV trail tags. So I'm going to mount it up now. I have both fire extinguisher assemblies mounted and located about where they're going to be permanently. I still need to pull the bolts out and put some Loctite on them, but I think it looks a lot better with one on each side. It's balanced and just cleaner looking all the way around, and safer because now the passenger can easily reach a fire extinguisher as well. Most people, they only put one fire extinguisher assembly on, so one would cost about $70 for the fire extinguisher, the mount, and the clamp assemblies. So that's really cheap, but I paid about $140 for both assemblies, and there's some fire extinguisher mounts that cost $200. That's not including a fire extinguisher, so this is a really cheap way to mount a fire extinguisher on side-by-sides vehicles in general. If you liked this video, or if it helped you out, maybe check out some of my other videos. I've reviewed and installed some pretty cool products so far. I'm planning on doing some riding videos soon, maybe just some other random off-road things. Also, if you could, maybe subscribe to the channel. It helps motivate me to make more videos. Also, hopefully, eventually, maybe it would help fund some mods or videos. So if you could do that, that'd be awesome. But thanks for watching my video today. Hope you have a great day. See ya.